She smiled and let out a little laugh before taking my hand and shaking it. Harley. Harley, what a fitting name for the woman in front of me. She wore a leather jacket over a plain white t-shirt. If I had to describe her in one word, it would be a biker girl. I like you, Harry, Harley said, flipping some of her long hair behind her shoulders. A flirtatious action made a knot form in my stomach. Thank you, I said, forcing myself to smile, handing her her drink. I took a second to look her over again before starting to tend to the other customers in the bar. I made sure to keep an eye on Harley the whole time, my curiosity getting the better of me. About an hour later, one of the regulars, Jeb, started hitting on Harley. He was 6 beers deep and couldn't tell his ass from a water hose. Come on, sweets. Come back home with the Jeb. I'll treat you right, sugar. We'll have a fun time, he slustered drunkenly as he wrapped a hand holding a bottle of beer around his shoulders. I could see Harley's features contort into an expression of uncomfortableness. All right, Jeb. I started slinging the towel I was using to clean the glass over my shoulder. I'm cutting you off. Clearly you had enough to drink tonight. Jeb waving me off and brought his free hand to Harley's boob, where he squeezed it gently. A look of shock and fury filled her face. Jeb, I said tensely, grabbing the beer out of his hand. Leave him alone, man, the 18-year-old who came in with Jeb shouted from the next to the drunken. The only reason I let him stay at the bar is because he only ordered a can of Coke. Normally, he never caused trouble when him and Jeb came in anyways. Jeb must have met this guy in college parties since he's only 22. But with a name like Jeb, I expected him to be 63. Jeb was getting more handsy, and I could tell Harley was going to snap at any moment. The both of you, get out of here now, before I call the cops on you for giving me a fake ID, and Jeb, for letting you stay here, knowing you were a minor. He, like a deer caught in headlights, the kid went, How did you... I cut him off. I don't tolerate harassment of any kind in my bar. Get out now. Jeff's friend grabbed him off the Harley before quickly running out the bar into the streets. Harley dusted herself off while staring at the direction the duo ran off in. Then she looked at me and shot me an icy glare. Thanks, but I could handle it myself. I shrugged in response and went back to cleaning up around the bar, and the rush had ended a while ago, and only a few Parthons were left, a couple, Gladys and Harley. When I turned back to Harley, I noticed she was gone. In her place was a $5 bill, and she left the drink glass. Not one drop had been spilled from the Bloody Mary. I shrugged the ominous feeling that Harley left behind and went back to closing duties. I kicked out a few drunks out of the bar, called them taxis, and then closed Marley's down for the night. The sound of heels crunching against gravel took my attention off the back door to the bar. A tall shadow stood in the alleyway entrance. I tucked my keys between my fingers and tightened the grip on the garbage bag in my other hand. Like I said earlier, a familiar voice echoed off the walls in the alley. I can handle myself. Harley stepped into the edge of the light coming from a street lamp behind her, whipping something off of her face with her sleeve. Blood. Her mouth was covered in blood. She had a crazy look in her eyes. Her once white t-shirt, now a rusted brown color. She smiled at me again. This time, 2 huge fangs hung in her mouth. The word vampire flooded my mind as her age started to shine more intensely above her head. The woman before me was literally 300 years old, a 300 years old vampire. She was on me quick, giving me no time to prepare. Or defend myself. The garbage bag and keys in my hands fell to the ground as I was stuck in a strong grasp. Harley pulled me back, polo down, and clipped the area where my neck and shoulders connected, sending weirdly pleasurable tingles down my spine. I braced myself for the pain that would come from the bite when she eventually stopped sucking me. I heard her hiss. A hot drench of iron filled my nostrils. "Don't worry, Harry. I'll make it quick." Harley just jammed her jaw shut as she bit down. I screamed in pain as I imagined all the blood being sucked from my veins. My body withered away into nothing but a shark. Harley standing over my corpse, full and satisfied with my exoneration. I started crying as my mind flooded with regrets. How much better could my life have been if I never told anyone about my ability? Maybe my parents wouldn't have think I was crazy and a disappointment. Maybe I could have gotten a girlfriend, settled down, gotten a nice house, and had a kid. In my high hysteria, I noticed something. There had been no pain at all. Harley had Harley had released me when realization struck. I spun around in confusion. My neck was fine, and not a single blood cell was taken from me. Harley stood behind me, chuckling to herself, as if she should have known better. In the palm of her hand was a sharp fang. It belonged to her, seeing as a nice gap was in the place where her upper left calf once rested in her gums. "Oh, fuck," she yelled out in an angry laugh, stomping her black leather Doc Martens on the ground. Harley looked at me in the eyes, a deep-seamed hatred behind her eyes. "You're a goddamn choice."